India have been obliged to host the Hockey World Cup for the second successive time. The draw for the same took place in Odisha on September 8, 2022. India have been drawn with England, Spain and Wales in the Group D. Let's see what our sports editor Sandeep Mishra, who is an avid follower of hockey, and AB Subaya, former Olympian, feels about the draw. Sandeep, India is in Pool D alongside England, against whom they played a 4-4 draw in the Commonwealth Games. It's certainly not going to be easy for Graham Reed's win.
No, it's not going to be. Listen, I mean, if it's a World Cup, you got to win almost all your games to be there for the final. I mean, you got to beat Australia, Holland, whoever comes across. To say that you're going to get a weaker pool is probably not going to be possible. But yeah, I mean, like if you recall what Graham has said today to the media, he understands the toughness of the pool simply because, and it's not because of the 4-4 draw as you say. The matches with England or Spain have always been pretty close, you know, and in a World Cup everything changes, you know, apart from the way the team plays, apart from the motivation factors, skill levels, talent, everything goes up a notch. It's not your regular friendly matches that are happening. So looking at all of that, I think probably to an extent Subaya would agree that England is a tough cookie out there. Spain is an unpredictable kind of a team. They may play probably at a level of 6 one day, but believe me, in the World Cup they will be at 7, 7.5. So you got to be at 8, 9 to be able to beat them. Okay, Wales, I won't even say it's a weak team. It simply depends how you fare in one of these two games, because you lose one, or Spain loses one, or England loses one, which is bound to happen.
Right.
Then Wales, you know, they get their tails up. Okay, you know, we can also try and do something out there. So looking at all of that, I think it's a tough pool. You can still top the pool and you still may end up 2 and 3, which makes it much more difficult because only the topper goes to the quarters, the rest go into a crossover, and you don't know who you're going to meet in the quarterfinals. You know, the unpredictability of the crossover is that. And yeah, let's see what Subaya says about the pool.
Dr. Subaya, what do you feel about the group?
Good evening. What I can say about the pool is fair, and I think it is, if you see how they make the pool, it is 16 to 13 and 12 to 8, whatever they take that way as their ranking. So that way, if you see, I can see about comparing all 4 groups. It is Australian pool. Pool A is very tough. Then us, India's. Actually, by Argentina, France, South Africa. They're all in the top forms recently. So they're doing well. So India, yeah, we are number 4. We have to beat England, or we have to tackle that. Though anyway, we have a chance because the 2 teams qualify for a if there is a 1 match upset, also we have a chance to qualify for a quarterfinals. But not saying that, I agree with Sandeep. It's a very unpredictable team. When they play against India, it is always a close match that we have to win. But if you are saying we are 1 in 4 in the world, we have to win these tough matches. I agree. And the quarterfinals, it will be it really matters. If you do well, if you come in the 1 or 2, whom we meet. Actually, that is also very thing. That's for the next level.
Dr. Subaya, not topping the group could put India in a very tricky situation. Do you feel that India could be in a tricky situation if they couldn't top the Pool D?
No, we can't say. Actually, there may be a upset in the other pool also. But problem is going for keeping our confidence in. We should beat Britain, because earlier match also what we are through with them, because we are leading 4-1 till the last minute, and you can't just give away the goals like that. That doesn't make of your champions teams to concede so many goals at the last minute, and you're under pressure. We were saying when the match is getting over, because otherwise they would have scored their 5th goal also. See, they should not panic, because now consistently they are performing well. They come up to number 3 once, number 4 now. So they have to consistently perform. In England also match, they should do well. I feel they have a home advantage. So they should do well consistently. So that is the only thing. But they have a chance to play for a quarterfinals. I don't have any much doubt in this pool. India will play the quarterfinals.
Sandeep, reigning world champions Belgium and two-time world champions Germany are in Group B, a tough battle between the biggest teams of the game. But do you think that Belgium still have the quality to, retain the World Cup?
Well, Belgium, Germany, Korea, Japan. Let's not forget Korea out here. On any given day, and if you see the way they have progressed over the last 1 year, I think they are slowly climbing back. Korea in a World Cup is a very dangerous proposition. In Asian Games, extremely dangerous, because number one, they have the counters. Okay, they are extremely fit. Any Korean team that comes in, okay, there was a time over the last 3, 4, 5 years when the team wasn't that great, but now they are pretty compact. If you see in the last tournaments, they have been performing. I will not rule out a Korea surprise over either Belgium or Germany. Honestly, I won't rule out. But going to your question, Belgium will put the team back together. They are already putting the team back together. They may not be looking like a world champion right now if you just look at the Pro League and all of that. But come the World Cup, and Belgium will be there. Belgium is a slow starter in any tournament you look at, whether it's European Championships, the Olympic Games, or even in the World Cup. I think in the last World Cup, we were leading 2-0 before they equalized, and the score was 2-2. That was the first game of the World Cup for India and Belgium, and they were in the same pool. But Belgium is the kind of a resilient team that works its way up. And it's also a kind of a team that will play you 0-0 throughout 60 minutes and then beat you in the penalties. So they are extremely mentally strong. Also understand they are world champions, they are Olympic champions.
Very tactical as well.
Extremely. I mean, they have a new coach now, but each and every player since the 2014 World Cup, and they have virtually kept the same team. 2 or 3 players have been in and out, but that entire bunch of 2014, the World Cup that was played at The Hague, they have really matured. So don't rule them out. For them, going into a semi-final will not be something which is beyond their imagination or capacity, unless there is a massive upset somewhere happening in the crossover matches or in the quarterfinal. But they are a semi-final team out there.
Dr. Subair, do you agree with Sandeep that South Korea and Japan can put a dent on the aspirations of the European team of topping the pool?
I slightly agree with Sandeep. He also follows the hockey. Actually, Korea is not the same force as it used to be earlier. What he's saying, last 1 year, they're climbing up the ladder. Started doing well, but not up to the ladder which can beat the top teams like Germany or Belgium. I feel that Japan can do well against India because we take these teams little lightly. The day we take these teams lightly, they used to beat India very well. But Belgium, what happened? They're a very experienced lineup in their team actually, and they believe they can come back from any situation. We've seen so many matches. We always think, seeing the players, they might not be winning this tournament, but they won each and every championship very well because they play as a team. They know when to actually attack, when to hold. Like in the whole team combination, and they have so much of understanding from goalkeeper to the left extreme, whatever it is, their forward line. They have a lot of understanding in their team. They will come back in any matches in the last seconds also. So Belgium is the one team, and Germany is also. They were last time they were building up, and now somewhere they might have been had a consistency in performance, but Germany also is not in the same force once they were. Actually, they also bought a lot of new players. So that's why what I agree with Sandeep. Here Germany is a little vulnerable. If Korea plays very well, that may be an upset.
Gentlemen, moving forward to Group A. In Group A, we have the world leaders Australia and Olympic champions Argentina. So this would be another fascinating fixture in the group stages. Sandeep, who are you backing in this one? This group also has South Africa and France in it. Which team could emerge out on top in this one?
No, this is an easy one on papers at least. Australia, just can't even think beyond them right now, honestly. And this has nothing to do with the thrashing we received at the Commonwealth Games or even before in the Olympic Games. But Australia is a side that it starts at 100 kilometers an hour and it maintains, and till they reach the semi-finals or the finals, they go on till almost 140, 150 kilometers an hour. You know, that's the kind of speed they maintain.
How are they able to maintain that momentum?
I think it just boils down to training, and it also boils down to the kind of coaching that they receive. I think this is one part that probably Subaya is much more conversant with why Australia is right at the top, because he's seen them so closely, he's played against them, he's played against some of the best sides that Australia had. But if you just purely look at the pool, I can't really think of anybody here who can upset Australia for one. I don't even think Argentina can come close to the kind of play Australia can do. South Africa, no. France is one of those sides that is emerging, because in the Junior World Cup they were extremely good. And even now if for example they have to top, well, they have to beat Argentina, 2016 Olympic champions, they have to beat Australia. And Australia is an impossibility right now, looking at the way they are playing under Colin Batch. France will surely go to the crossover, that much is sure. And well, we have to top the pool, because honestly I don't want France meeting India, because France is a very different game. They are extremely good on the counter attacks and they are brilliant on the penalty corners. So we have to really look out for them. But Subaya, I just to take this forward, why do you think Australia is so good? And I'm not just talking of the Commonwealth Games 7-0. I'm just saying overall, I mean, your experience, I mean, what do they do that they have been consistently at the top for almost 20 years or plus?
Definitely, Sandeep. You're also followed a lot of hockey. Like, no, the one team which India is not comfortable of playing is Australia, because we can play well with the Holland someday. We can play with Germany anytime. Most of the Germany-India matches are very close, or a draw or something. But Australia is one time. If you start playing to their style of play, they'll beat you. So that's what we make a mistake, because we play very well in the tournament. They think, okay, Australia, we play all out. See what happened when you open the space they get. You play open game like what Australia plays. You're down. You're gone actually. What is 7? We got it. What we got earlier 8. It is all due to this. Actually, with them, it is the best cautious game. We'll end later once you settle down and a little counter attacks, and then you attack, because you are opening up your defense and you're giving space. As Sandeep says, they are much fitter than any other team in the world. That is continuing from last 20-25 years. You can't give them a space, because they're all everywhere inside the D, and they're very good finishers. Moreover, their system of developing the players under 12, under 14 and all, they play this system from the very young club level. They maybe under 14, under 16, everybody they play. By the time they give a lot of importance to their fitness, because you can see that our Indian team is also very fit. Most of our trainers and the coaches, everything, they brought our team level to this level due to our fitness. Now our team is not lacking in fitness, but certain time when they are not just their mind goes after the game, we consider a lot of goals and it happens. But Australia in such way, I am saying there is no doubt in Australia is topping the pool in A group. It is for a second place. There is a very tough. Argentina is the good team. They have to fight with France. France is preparing very well for the next Olympics as a host. South Africa is a very surprising element who played so well in the Olympic Games. I know this is the toughest pool. I can see this. All the matches are very good matches will be there. And it is only for the second place in that group, I'm telling you, because they maintain the consistency, Australians.
So a lot of expectations from Group B. Moving on to Group C, we have Netherlands, Chile, Malaysia and New Zealand in Group C. In this one, Sandeep, the Dutch look likely to top.
Yeah, I think it's straightforward in a way for the topper at least. Holland should go through. New Zealand and Malaysia are the two tougher games. Chile, I really don't see them coming up. I think they should be finishing fourth.
Just their first one, right?
This is their first one, but looking at the form and looking at the way they have been practicing and looking at the way their exposure has been, and yeah, a lot of my friends in Malaysia are very happy with this draw because they feel that they can at least end up in the crossovers. They don't have to go back home so quickly. But the crossovers should be interesting for Malaysia also because you never know. The one thing that I think one needs to also say here, Subhaya, is also that Malaysia didn't play the Commonwealth Games because they were focusing on the Asian Games. And then the Asian Games got postponed. And so they were left out of the Commonwealth Games. So what they have less is training, exposure, competition. All of that is very less for them right now. So I think the only tournament that they're going to be playing before this World Cup, unless they do a bilateral, which is a series with some other country, is the Azlan Shah, where again you will see Germany, Australia, India. So that is the only exposure left for Malaysia. So they're coming into the World Cup without really top class competitive matches, if you just keep the Azlan Shah on the side. So I think that is something that they really need to look at. I think otherwise your 1, 2, 3 is pretty decently placed here. Holland tops, New Zealand maybe 2, Malaysia maybe also 2, and the other team comes and 3. Chile, I don't really see any hope of going through unless that's a massive upset. Something really happens that night before the game. So, otherwise it's straightforward.
Dr. Subhaya, what's your take on Pool C?
Yeah, compared to all the other three groups, in the Pool C is a little lighter because Netherlands is the favorites to come out top in this pool. New Zealand and Malaysia, as I agree with Sandeep, Malaysia on their day, they can hold any team. So that is the only chance. Otherwise, New Zealand looks more chance to qualify as a second team.
And how can we not talk about the Bisra Munda Hockey Stadium, which is supposed to be one of the biggest hockey stadiums with a capacity of 20,000, and the finals could take place at this stadium. And I think that Ms. Dr. Subhaya, you have been to the stadium. So, what's your take on this stadium? How big could it be if the final takes place here?
See, when we say that it's the world's best stadium, there is nothing more to explain. Actually, it is a really good facilities what has come up in India, which the world can't afford. World hockey can't afford. Actually, it is a good, but only I think by the time the World Cup starts, I think good airport comes up with a lot of airlines flying to that destination would have been actually one of the good thing for the World Cup. But otherwise, the stadium facilities, I can't compare anywhere in the world. Even the Kalinga Stadium, whatever they improve, existing structure they improve to the world level, it is very good. But the new facilities, what they're building, we see in the plan, whatever is coming up, it is, you can't imagine. It is a kind of a, sometime you can find the top football stadiums, what they provide, or some top cricket grounds, what they provide. So they have come up to that standard. This is uncomparable to anywhere in the world, wherever the hockey facilities is there. Malaysia is to be a very good one, what they built for Commonwealth, but Birsa Munda, nobody can compare with any other stadiums in the world.
Right. And Sandeep, you were mentioning about the tribal group present there. So how big could it be for them? And what was the reason behind bringing the stadium to Rourkela, where, it's a remote area?
It's honestly, it's not as remote as we think it is, because when we look at Bhubaneswar, we think it's the capital, so everything needs to be held there. But Rourkela is where the talent is. Rourkela is where hockey is played. Rourkela is probably 100 kilometers, 80 kilometers away from Sundargarh, where most of the players have come from. Rourkela is 20 kilometers away from Panposh, where the hockey center is there. So you look at all of that, Rourkela becomes the perfect center. And right now, if the capacity is 25,000, let me be very, very honest here. You increase it to 75, you will still have 10,000 sitting outside the stadium wanting a ticket. So 75,000 will be your capacity full. That I'm talking of the World Cup here. Leave the World Cup alone. Inter-university, inter-college, inter-school, inter-village, inter-city, inter-town, whatever is held in Sundargarh draws a capacity of 8,000 people to watch. So hockey for them is not just a sport, it's a way of life. So I think bringing it to Rourkela probably fills in for a lot of purposes. One of them, of course, political, but largely hockey will gain, largely hockey will progress, and you will have a lot of youngsters who would probably be seeing a World Cup away from a television for the first time, other than the ones who come to Bhubaneswar to watch it. So this is not only massive, this is like life changing for Rourkela, life changing for the district of Sundargarh, for all the tribals, for all the Adivasi players who come into the Indian team. For them, this is like seeing the World Cup hockey right before their own eyes. Walking into a stadium to see India play is going to be very, very
And
big.
if you have India versus Australia in the finals and a crowd like this supporting India, then
I think it should be 30% goes straight to India from there, because just because of the noise levels, but noise levels doesn't stop Australia from anything. So I think we got to be careful there.
so talking about Indian hockey team, who are the players, Sandeep and Dr. Subaya, who can stand out in the World Cup coming January, and how would be the team selection like? Also, which is India's strongest suit and the weakest point at the moment?
So I think you should
As
go
the
first.
Indian team goes, now Indian team, relatively a lot of youngsters are playing in the team now. So I can say the strongest point of Indian team, we started converting penalty corners. That is, we have to give a lot of credit to Harmanpreet and his team, because we have a 3-4 track flickers who are all good. But Harmanpreet is outstanding. Otherwise, see, we need to control these youngsters because they make a lot of foul. I think they might be having they're not cool, calm as we used to have defenders like Dilip Tirthi. So, see, they're cool in any of the situation. When we played, whenever played against Australia, this thing. These people, Varun and all, they're very good players. But sometimes with the Josh, they lose, concede the penalty corner, some take the card, like that is also, they have to control.
Discipline is an issue. Do you think discipline is an
It
issue?
is the issue. It may be issue. Like that we lost one of the Olympic match due to that. The problem is that defenders has to be cool and composed, because forward line, if they make mistake, you have a backup. But when you do mistakes at the deep defender, and the fresh guy coming as a defending last 5 minutes or 4 minutes, just coming and take place, he might have been that same pitch what he was playing in the whole match. So this way they have to control and not to consider easy penalty corners or easy foul for them, or take a card and play with a 10. They'll expose you. You can see that when the team is down by 1 goal or 2 goals, they change the goalkeeper, they take advantage of one player. You see that they'll have with the full team, and when you're taking card, it's an advantage for them. Like they'll all come up where they're exposing that, where the one guy is not there, they're exposing that place, and the whole team is nowadays tactically so strong, they take advantage. So not taking the card, not rush of blood, defenders, it is very important for a team. Srijesh is doing well, be with him, give a lot of confidence, play steadily, don't make a mistake. So let the forwards take the chance and score. So that is what I can say about the Indian team. Stars, nowadays there is not much bigger stars. Harmanpreet, he'll come out, but Mandeep and all the very opportunistic inside the D, that's a good. Most of them youngsters are there. They're doing very well, so they should carry on with that.
Sandeep, your view, India's strongest suit and weakest point at the moment?
I think I would probably look at it in a different way, that you're probably not going to be touching the team that's played at the Commonwealth, but not, you still probably will see 1, 2, 3 maximum interchanging positions. Maybe the coach will probably look at the Commonwealth in a very different way than we all look at, and he'll probably feel that, okay, one spot in the midfield may be up. You know, he'll probably try and replace, you might see a forward coming back in, something like that. The defense should be probably the same. They're not going to be touching that. The goalkeepers are going to be the same. Srijesh is still going to be a number 1 goalkeeper. The only place where I would probably try and do something is not to have these goalkeepers change too much. You know, that first half is with first quarter with somebody, second quarter with somebody. In a strong, against a strong side, please don't change your goalkeeper. Keep the same goalkeeper on, because consistency is not only required for the team that is on the field, The goalkeeper is on the field, but the goalkeeper also needs to understand the game quarter to quarter to be able to build up. Srijesh is a guy who motivates the defenders, keeps them up on their toes. The
Acts
other,
as a leader.
exactly, the other goalkeeper may not be as loud as him. By loud, I mean, going up and shouting and screaming and saying, okay guys, do this and do that. But largely, I don't think the team will change too much unless there is a few changes in the midfield. This team is good enough. Leave the final result, because that is something which is an aberration. It happens. Though I think they have to really learn a lot from that final, and then they move up. And I still believe that this team can still do it, can still be, is a good semi-final shot for this team. And in a semi-final, then everything is up on that particular
50-50.
Yeah.
And before the World Cup, one final question. Before the World Cup, there is Azlan Shah, which will take place in Malaysia. IPO will host the tournament in between 16 to 25th November. India, Australia, Germany, New Zealand and Canada would be playing the tournament alongside Malaysia. This could be a good platform to showcase skill set and form chemistry before going into the World Cup for Team India, and to also know the opposition.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure that every team will send the top team for this tournament unless they have a sort of match practice or whatever. But they would like to try the people who are sitting in the fence, like either in the team or out, to see their match preparation, whatever they can do in the match, and they will be, as per coach plan, they fit into the team or something. If there is an injury, these people can replace. That is what happens, because European people, teams and all, during the last 6 or 1 year of the tournament, they definitely experiment lot of players. So that those teams and all, India, we won as a test matches and some tournament, and we go up saying that we beat Germany, we beat Holland, we have a chance to win this medal, and we'll hype it everything. It is to happen everything, but when it is really major tournament comes, they'll come with a totally planned composition of the team. That time we'll come to know that what is the real motive, because they prepare all 4 years for this. They might not expose their surprise element in the team. Maybe a indirect penalty corners or something it will come. When we played a 94 World Cup, before that everybody was Berlander, everything. Nobody knew about the Taco. So it is a surprising element for all the goalkeepers. So because Berlander is so good, what we are actually concentrating on practice towards the Berlander wherever he does, and our running out according to that. But Takama taken the new surprise element for a track mix, which has become a fashion later. So there is maybe some surprise element in this World Cup too.
That's it from this special. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Dr. Subbiah. You gave us some incredible insights. The Hockey World Cup will take place between January 13, 2023 and January 29, 2023. We will keep you posted with all the necessary news and insights before the mega event. Keep watching News 9. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This is Hardik Agrawal signing off.